Hi, welcome back to my cup of TV with Jenny.
JD.
So, Kim Tae-hyung has given us another winter song. It's his time of year. He likes a song about winter.
Just think you should give him like a Christmas album.
Oh yeah,
Just a whole one, and
just a whole one.
Yeah.
And it can be all the songs we hear every Christmas, but I listen to his ones.
Yeah. And just be interested in some traditional Korean Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be.
Mariah's All I Want for Christmas. I'd love to hear what V would do with that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'd turn it into like a real jazzy, like, and it makes me want to put a fire on, you know? Just...
Yeah. But you'd want the rest of the members to be in there. Just, so he's talking about them.
Just all curl up together in front of that fire and listen to V. So this is Winter Ahead.
As it is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's with... I did read it, but now I'm doubting myself. Park Hyo-shin.
Ballad singer and a musical theatre actor.
Oh.
Excellent. Always up for hearing a new
vocalist,
singer. And
yeah.
if he sings ballads, he's got to be good.
So please remember to like, comment and subscribe. In the comments, your thoughts on this song and what's your favourite thing about winter. Mine is being able to wear my hat all the time.
Mine is... Well, I have them all year round, actually, but even more fairy lights. I love fairy lights because they're so cosy. Instead of like a traditional lamp, I have fairy lights, so I turn them on.
And you know, I love Christmas. I really love Christmas.
Yeah. And food. Just Christmas food. And
the fact that you wear bigger, bulkier clothing so no one can see my weight gain from all the food.
But also, can I please ask if there are any song recommendations from this artist that we should check out?
6 minutes.
Ooh. Well, V makes his videos like a movie,
Yeah.
So I'm not convinced that that's going to be 6 minutes of complete song.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. He's an artist.
Yeah, he likes to make
theatrical.
Yeah, movies and. Also, it's the big hit thingy, not hype.
It's normally a big hit for them.
Oh.
That jacket really suits him. Jesus, was that filmed here? So it could be here, doesn't it?
It's Mr. Darcy.
Lie with me by the fire, we can be safe from the storms of pride. There's a winter ahead, if it's cold and wet, we're always warm here side by side. Come with me, change of heart, who can say? If you look in my eyes, for the moon and the stars, hearing strumming guitars, where I am meant that it be nice. I'll be with you until the spring runs by and the summer starts to burn. I'll be with you when the autumn returns. Don't you wanna say you'll stay? Lie with me by the fire, we can be safe from the storms up high. There's a winter ahead, weather is cold and wet. We are swimming in paradise, paradise.
Was it Paris? I can picture him listening to this. Can I say just first off, let's get it out of the way. He's so beautiful. My God, beautiful man. And that red jacket in particular, stunning.
It was a really interesting MV to have with it.
Yeah.
Because the song on its own gives you like longing and warmth and romance and the fire crackling and all of that. But what's interesting is maybe that would have been too obvious to make the MV like that.
Yeah. They can be something more cinematic.
Yeah, but I often find it interesting when the experience of the song alone versus the MV and whether or not they match or it could just make you think differently than what you thought. But yeah, the song is really cozy and comforting, a little bit romantic and swoony and whatnot.
All in English as well.
Yeah. And but the MV was very sad. And well, from me anyway, I took that as very sad and very lonely.
Yeah, it's one of those I'm watching, I'm thinking there may be an old story or tale or piece of art that he's based this on. I wouldn't be surprised with him.
Yeah.
But what I took from it was that he's you know, like in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, where he's on his own, he's like locked in and alone, and he talks to the gargoyles.
Yeah.
That he's creating this person, this dream person, and in his head he's living out this life and doing all these things, but actually none of it's real.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a mental health thing that stops him going out or whatever. Or maybe an accident, because when there was two of them and he had the black dripping, I thought, and he touched his head, almost like maybe he had a head injury. And you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they're like memories instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really sad.
And that he's imagining this perfect person he's creating is real, and this life he's living with them.
Yeah.
Because there are many things in literature, aren't there, about someone creating a person, this imaginary person, or making someone, like Frankenstein, and making a person.
Yeah. And it was interesting because at the end it was like the happy version of himself was the creation, because he then felt that little X mark and whatnot from the clay and whatever it was, you know, and the other version came in and was looking at him, and he almost had like a bit of an evil smile. He was like, no, yeah, like, you're my creation. Like, you thought you had created this happy thing, but actually I've created all of you. I don't know. I'd be really intrigued to see people's interpretation of it, or like you say, if there's a story behind it. But I just
feel like with V, there probably is something, even if it's just, like I said, an piece of art that he's
him or RM are the two that do that. Yeah. But just off the face of it, of not knowing anything, it just made me feel quite sad. But one thing that did match up was almost the sense of the longing in the song as well as the MV. He's obviously got that longing for something.
Because we saw him interacting with the woman, and obviously the love story and the happy times. But even he was a bit disconnected from her. Like, he would watch her sleep and touch her. When she looked him in the eye, he'd turn away. Like, And when he was in the party, everyone was in white except him, and no one interacted with him.
Yeah. So they can do that visually to make him stand out, but I think it's really interesting. And also, we say no one interacted with him, and then obviously, like, then all of a sudden he was on his own. Like, they were leaving, they were creating distance, and it's like none of it was real.
All that mentality of being in a room full of people but
and
being
you feel alone. Yeah. So I mean, it's like it wasn't real. It wasn't true connection.
Yeah.
It was a veneer.
Like, we could have been switching between the people being there and them not, and him still continuing with what he was doing the same, because it wasn't real. It was in his head.
And there's a difference between being on your own and finding fulfillment versus being alone and feeling lonely. And that's where the sadness came. You know, it's like there was loneliness versus, I could easily imagine, not that V would ever have to be alone. He did lots of volunteers to be with him, but I could totally imagine him just being so happy in his own little world. That obviously didn't. That gave the impression of someone that had created that world out of loneliness. Yeah. And that's really interesting to say, like, maybe it was mental health, or maybe it was a memory or something. But it was, sad. So the MV was a totally different experience, or made me feel a different way about the audio I was being given. Yeah. Whereas if I was just listened to the audio on its own, it would be very cosy and warmth and more positive.
Because I just feel like there has got to be a story somewhere. Like I said, in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, where he's separated and he talks to the gargoyles, or Beauty and the Beast, where he's in this house, or big grand house, all on his own, because he feels like the world wouldn't accept him. Yeah. You know, like...
Yeah. I thought that the cinematography, like, stunning, all of the locations.
Looks like it was Paris.
Yeah, really, really nice. And all of his outfits were lovely. I really liked him in his little claymaker's outfit, you know, where the sleeves rolled up and like the white and brown, I think it was. That looked really cute. And then also I liked on the stage in the theatre, where was the trousers, the shirt was almost like a waffle see-through shirt. That shirt looked lovely.
When he was in the room with all the clay and the light was shining in from the windows and he was dancing and you could see his silhouette under the shirt.
Yeah.
It wasn't like sexy in an overt, like, ooh, that's really sexy, but it was just like, It's V. He's always attractive.
It was romantic.
Yeah.
Even in loneliness.
Like you said, the Mr.
romantic.
Darcy
Yes.
in the grand house. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel like it's a duet because V wanted to work with this person, because I don't feel like it needed two voices.
No, it's true actually. I was thinking their voices were not a completely different timbre, quite close, but both the other singer, lovely voice as well. Yeah.
Because I don't feel like it needed to be a collab, but so obviously he's done it for, maybe it's just I want to work with this person.
Maybe he admires him or something. And I'm really sorry, obviously, if I got distracted and they were there and I didn't hear it, I'm sorry, I'll give it another listen. But I would have liked to have heard more harmonies, because I think when you're working with someone, that's always a chance to have the individual and then have a little melting pot of the voices together. And I didn't quite hear any or enough of a overlap that could have been harmonies or octaves.
So then maybe together. They were using each voice as, if you're looking at the MV, one is in reality, one is in a fantasy world.
Maybe.
And so then they don't meet.
Yeah.
Very
interesting.
I liked the instrumentals.
Oh, sorry, it was a saxophone at the beginning. There was lots of saxophone and piano.
I wouldn't say it's that surprising, considering I have liked all of his solo stuff. It might actually be the solo of all the solo albums. It might be the one I listen to the most. But I wouldn't say that that's my style of music. But I did enjoy, and I said I can picture him listening to it, because we've seen him sit listening to his jazz and how he reacts to it. And I can picture him listening to that and doing his little things that he does.
I feel a little bit, not disjointed, but I feel a little bit like I'm sad. I'm like, oh, it was such a nice warm song, and yet the sadness from the MV, I'm like, oh, so I can't almost enjoy it enough, because I'm like, oh, that poor character. But
you say poor character, it's because we're seeing V and we just want happiness for V.
yeah, it's true, and I like her skin, she was gorgeous. And in that, I'm sorry, I take that. It's a brave woman to wear an all silky dress.
Oh,
damn, she looked beautiful.
Wow.
But when they were sitting at the top of the stairs and they were throwing the things in the pots, and he got it in, and he was so happy, and the little bits they were doing together was really sweet. And then to see the potential that it, because I was like, oh, he's making a model of his lost love, and then I was waiting to see. I was waiting to see, like, was there an accident? Is she tragically lost? And then the idea of that actually she was never real in the first place. But this is actually just another layer of fantasy, and in fact you're not even real, because I was just so sad.
And you know what? That could relate to real life, in the respect of so many people can sit at home thinking of their ideal partner and exactly what they want, and because of that they're at home thinking about that instead of going out there and meeting real people who may not meet everything you've put, but could still be the right person for you.
Living in like a fantasy world at the sacrifice of your reality, of your present.
I mean, I know that we all sit at home and imagine that we could be one of these idols and it would work perfectly. But the reality is, if we met them, then it may not. There may be things you're like, do you know what? I actually can't live with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So...
No, it's true.
What we build up as our ideal partners is actually not necessarily what does work out being our ideal partner. And you can easily shut yourself off looking for that.
If you depend on that fantasy so much, it will break you when you have to face
because you can't
the fact
find
that it's not real. Yeah, it's all very interesting, very interesting.
When he had the sculpture and he was like wiping really hard, almost like ruining it in a way, like almost like this isn't right. It's never going to be perfect.
So, like sabotaging it because he knew it wasn't real. Yeah.
Or like I say, when you're looking for something that you've decided is perfect for you and you can't find it, you're sabotaging yourself, because you're not going to find the perfect, because it's unattainable.
Yeah.
Unless you remember BTS, because then you are perfect.
Very interesting. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Cinematography, beautiful, everything sounded, but that sadness there. I wasn't expecting that, but nice.
He's just an old soul, isn't he?
Nice song for a Christmassy playlist.
Yeah, Christmassy and cooking. Oh, cooking Christmas dinner.
I'm just gonna choose to imagine him on the happy side, of not the rest of it that was not real.
So that was our reaction to V and Park Hyoshin. Shin. Yeah. Winter ahead. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.